everybody. Thank you for clicking on. Yes, you read the headline right. Donald Trump has been indicted on 8 counts of uh, mishandling documents. Now, this is different from the investigation into the January 6th and his culpabilities there. Um, he will be arraigned in Miami on Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. as what I've been told as of right now. Um, we had this last night. We said that the rumblings we were hearing from people we've been in contact with were saying that it's probably going to be tomorrow, which is today now. So Trump has been indicted. Again, he's been indicted on 8 counts. He will be required to present himself at the Miami federal courthouse, at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday afternoon of this coming week. Now, this is just for the documents. This is not for January 6th. This is not for Georgia and tampering with elections, potential charges coming from the state of Georgia. And this is not the um, previous indictment in the state of New York. Hi, Laura. Thank you for being here. Thank everybody for being here. Thank you for clicking on. Lori Arnold's going to join a little bit later on, and we're going to talk about the internet a little bit. But at the moment, actually, hang on. I need to add something here. And thanks for joining. Thanks for your patience here. Trump indicted on 8 counts of mishandling classified documents. And we will add that and get that on the ticker down below so everyone knows that joins. And again, thank you all for being here. Hi, Shelley. And the witch hunt continues. That's how some are going to play this out. Somebody's rocking the skinny jeans. I think the witches were found. It's just making it stick. And Sable says 7. I'm not sure what 7 means, but okay. Again, thank you all for being here. Donald Trump has been indicted. He will be showing up, presenting himself in federal court in Miami on Tuesday. And that is our breaking news for this evening. As far as breaking news on mainstream media, their top stories, NBC News says Canadian wildfire smoke disrupts U.S. air travel. The Associated Press, AP News, Supreme Court rules in favor of Black Alabama voters in an unsuspected voter rights case. They weren't expecting to rule in favor of the Black voters in Alabama. State of Delaware news. Air quality reaches hazardous levels in Delaware due to the wildfires. Same thing here in Indiana. They were getting incredibly high today. They're supposed to be worse tomorrow. And it's nothing compared to what New York City and the East Coast has been going through, as we have shown you. Reuters headline, extreme weather expected as El Nino climate pattern returns to the United States. CNN, Cuba has given China permission to build a spying facility on the island. This is according to U.S. intelligence. And Supreme Court rules against the dog toy resembling the liquor bottle. This is the story of Jack Daniels and Bud Spaniels. Okay, we're not going to Thought maybe we get a look at that. This is a dog toy that's supposed to resemble Jack Daniels bottle. Jack Daniels thought it was too close to their product and sued for the toy to be discontinued. And the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Jack Daniels. So those were the breaking news headlines up until just about 15 minutes ago. Now, this is all happening and happening relatively quickly. We've just learned about it not that long ago, and one thing I do have that I'm going to play here at the beginning. We have a statement from the former president. He had been saying he knew
president in the history of our country.
He knew nothing about this, and he was caught off guard. But yet, it was his Secret Service team that was caught off guard, as apparently they knew nothing about this, and the whole Secret Service in the Washington, D.C. Bureau knew nothing about an indictment coming down tonight. They learned about it when he put out this statement that we are about to play, a 4-minute long statement. Now, this is historic. We have never had a United States president federally indicted for mishandling of documents. We've not had too much of any kind of bad behavior from former presidents, just saying. So let's listen in and see what Mr. Trump has to say.
Very sadly, we're a nation in decline, and yet they go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country, by far.
That part is true. He did. However, he didn't get as many as the guy he was running against. That's his problem.
And did much better the second time in the election than the first. And they go after him on a boxer's hoax. Just
talking about himself he can't say me. He has to talk like he's some kind of elevated being.
Just like the Russia hoax and all of the others. It's just been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report, and that came out. No collusion after 2.5 years.
Also, no witnesses, by the way, and not really a trial. He's talking about the impeachment. He's been impeached twice. Keep that in mind. No other president. Another record, another first-timer, another bar being set in that he was impeached twice, found innocent both times by a Republican-led Senate where no real investigation ever occurred.
That was set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would devote their energies to honesty and integrity, it would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot better. They could do a lot of great things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. We got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation.
We need to discuss what it means to be woke.
Cuts in history. And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far. Never anything even close.
That's because there's more people of voting age than ever in history. And, keep fact checking. We're not going to let you get away. Not going to let you get away with crap.
Things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. Got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history.
Yeah, tax cuts for billionaires, removing regulations so that more pollution can happen. Yeah, okay, that's a good thing if you're a rich billionaire. If you're a frickin' hillbilly, he's doing everything against you, and yet you're too blind to see it.
And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far, never anything even close. And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount. And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law. And we can't let it happen. We can't let it happen.
This is not warfare. This is being charged with a crime.
Our country.
And by the way, I come from hillbillies, and I totally respect everything hillbillies have had to go through, but they're smarter than that generally, just saying.
Is going to hell, and they come after Donald Trump.
Going to Hell, Damnation Drive-In tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds. We have such big problems.
It's really not. It's ripping you to shreds, the Republican Party to shreds, and your diehard supporters. But the rest of the country really wants this to be completed and should have been over and done with well before now in a lot of people's eyes.
And this shouldn't be one of them. It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. Just like Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report. It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost and we won. And we had tremendous support.
You had people supporting you blindly out of party loyalty over the good of the country.
But that was a hoax and a scam. And now they're doing it again. It's just a continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out. But it's called election interference. They're trying to destroy a reputation so they can win an election. That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election. So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. And that's exactly what we did. But now, again, our country is in decline. We're a failing nation. And this is what they do. I'm an innocent man. We will prove that again. 7 years of proving it. And here we...
Oh, come on. All right, I'm going to try one more time to get through this whole thing.
Popular.
Just because I know that there are people coming and going, and some people haven't heard it. I'm not going to interrupt it this time. I'm going to try not to anyway. It's just after 7 years of hearing this crap, you got to push back a little bit when you're dealing with crop, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this, which we talk about all the time, the triangle of irresponsibility. Start out by saying you create a problem, you mishandled documents, you started a riot. Both of those you're going to be held accountable for, but instead you blame other people and then you claim the victim. If that is not what we are seeing here, I just lost all of my notes. If that's not what we're seeing here, well, you're seeing something different than I am. And here we go one final time. Actually, hold on just a second. Let me bump it over to the actual tweet, and hopefully we'll be able to get through it one final time.
A popular president.
There we go. I want to give him the entirety. I've seen lists where he is the worst president in history. So as far as being the most popular, he is probably with some that are just so enamored with him that they can't see past anything else.
Very
But
sadly, we're a nation in decline, and yet they go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country, by far, and did much better the second time in the election than the first. And they go after him on a boxes hoax, just like the Russia hoax and all of the others. It's just been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report, and that came out. No collusion after 2.5 years. That was set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would devote their energies to honesty and integrity, it would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot better. They could do a lot of great things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. We got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history. And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far, never anything even close. And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount. And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law. And we can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. Our country is going to hell. And they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds. We have such big problems, and this shouldn't be one of them. It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax, just like Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report. It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost, and we won. And we had tremendous support. But that was a hoax and a scam. And now they're doing it again.
it was
a
a
continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out. But it's called election interference. They're trying to destroy a reputation so they can win an election. That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election. So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. And that's exactly what we did. But now, again, very sadly,
there we go. All right. You get the idea by now. He proclaims his innocence. He has been indicted, and he will be in court in Miami. Federal court in Miami on Tuesday, 3 p.m. is what we're hearing. Pretty serious charges. I'm hearing 8 counts of mishandling documents, and we'll see how that goes. I'm anticipating that people will start gathering, if they haven't already, outside of Mar-a-Lago to show their support for the disgraced president that's now been indicted. And we will see where it goes from there. I also have some questions about his Secret Service detail. And are they going to be loyal to him when the time comes, or are they going to be loyal to the country? And I'm sure he's pressed them on that. Our next Twitter hit comes from Ron Philip Koski. MAGA prophet Julie Green says she was talking to friends when she heard God in her head the other day talking about a great coup. She went to a quiet place and let his word flow. God told her he's about to reveal and crush all the evil people in government, banks, and corporations. So there's going to be a lot of high level Republicans. Here is what former President Mr. Trump said earlier, talking about Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows, of course, is former chief of staff who has been rumored to have flipped, if you will, basically did the right thing and told the truth about what Trump did. When Mark Meadows came crawling to me with tears in his eyes, saying, "Sir, I need a job. Please help me," I felt very strongly for him. I knew he was strongly hated by most of his fellow congressional Republicans, but I had just fired my previous chief of staff like a dog. So I decided to have Mark audition for the job, apprentice style. And how did he thank me? By hiring vicious rhinos and rats who turned and threw me under the bus with the radical communists of the J6 committee, and then a mad dog leftist prosecutor. I was going to fire Mark in 2021, but the election was stolen from me. That was his words earlier today, or earlier last night, I should say, after we had already aired. The U.S. has 12 or more alien spacecraft, say military and intelligence contractors, and also the bodies. I want to. I got two different pieces here. Whistleblower says U.S. has shot down non-human craft. I want to bring that up because if we're shooting down alien aircraft, we might possibly consider that they would want to retaliate at some point. Just something to think about. And Pentagon says there's no credible evidence of alien spacecraft. Okay, that's what the Pentagon says. Congress, NASA, a lot of others are saying different. Pentagon says no evidence, but several military intelligence contractors with inside information say there is. What's more, these insiders say U.S. military intelligence agencies are refusing to provide the evidence to Congress. So the plot thickens on that level too. And just a reminder, in case you missed it last night, the presence of a noose on what is known as Freedom Corner, a very escalatory showing, and many are saying it's actually showing what really has been the purpose and function of that for all of this time. Yes. Laura, it's new. Shelley, we'll see if it's in the indictment, but Trump verbally gave sensitive info to a Russian in the Oval Office the day after he fired Combs. And that's what the Russia thing's all about. He's trying to wrap it all up into one and saying nothing ever happened. Don't pay attention to anything. I never told anybody to put fluorescent lights up their butt or to inject bleach or to eat aquarium filters. You know, a lot has happened since that man took office, and we lost a lot of Americans in a very divisive manner that should have never happened, in my opinion. All right, so what else is going on? Well, let's just run down through it here. A nuclear attack would most likely target one of these 6 cities. This comes from the Business Insider. And an expert says none of them are prepared. So hang on. There we go. I got to get rid of that. All right. Says none of them are prepared. Are you in one of the 6 cities most likely to be attacked? According to Business Insider, nuclear attack on U.S. soil most likely target New York, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Washington, D.C. Public health expert says any of those cities would struggle to provide emergency services to the wounded, and the cities also no longer have designated fallout shelters to protect people from radiation. Uh, might have been a little bit short-sighted. Hollywood actor has become the latest arrested in a January 6th Capitol assault. This comes from Reuters. And Hollywood actor who has appeared on such TV shows as Arrested Development and the cartoon hit Bob's Burgers was arrested yesterday for his role in the U.S. Capitol riot that sought to keep Donald Trump in the White House. Jay Johnston, 54, became the latest of more than 1,000 individuals from nearly all 50 states criminally charged in connection with the rampage that disrupted a joint session of Congress certifying Democrat Joe Biden's 2020 presidential election victory. And I'm sorry, I accidentally clicked off of that and was reading it and you weren't seeing it. So just so you see what I was reading there, and again, this does come from Reuters. Taiwan's on high alert. This was 15 hours ago. Taiwan on high alert as 37 Chinese military planes fly over the island, sparking war fears. And this comes from Daily Express, once again, a British entity, their U.S. Sister channel. Taiwan on high alert. 37 Chinese planes fly over the island, sparking fears of an attack. Putin should freeze war as Ukraine is too strong, says a top Russian propagandist. If you've been watching the channel for a while and you were watching when we were covering extensively the buildup and eventual invasion of Russia into Ukraine, you will know that we showed this lady quite often when we were getting clips from Russian media. And Margarita Simonoyan is her name, and she's one of Vladimir Putin's top propagandists. This would be like, she's like the female Tucker Carlson used to be to Trump. So this would be like Tucker Carlson telling Trump that he was stupid. She said she's regularly called out for all-out war, including nuclear, anything imaginable. She's argued on primetime television in favor of a negotiated solution and a halt to hostilities while referenda are organized in Russian-occupied territory. So they say she's presented a U-turn as the best-case scenario now that Ukraine has access to NATO-supplied weapons and they're being used on Russian soil. She says, quote, I've been talking about this for the whole year. She hasn't. If you watched my show, this is the first time she said anything like this. It would be so good to stop the bloodshed right now. She said anything but that, calling former soldiers on panels with her cowards for saying that. Stay where we are, freeze it and hold it. That is the sound of someone that thinks they are about to lose. Let's keep what we can keep and just say none of this ever happened. Next story comes from Newsweek. Jack Smith ready to charge Donald Trump, according to his attorney. Now, this one is about the January 6th. It is not the document charges. So this is another potential indictment that could be coming, as well as the Georgia state indictment. The Georgia indictment is supposed to be sometime between, I think, the middle of July and around the first couple of weeks of September. And a 911 caller claims to see aliens after several reports of something falling from the sky. Now, this came out 11 hours ago, but actually, the event happened back in May, but it wasn't deemed credible until now that the government is starting to say, yeah, okay, maybe maybe there's more there than we've been telling y'all. A few weeks ago, not only did a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body camera video record something unusual flying low across the night sky. Again, this is an LA cop, or this is an Las Vegas cop, and his body camera caught the UAP or UFO. Not only that, the American Meteor Society reports the bright object was also spotted at least 21 people in eastern California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. 40 minutes after the police officer's body cam recorded the mysterious glowing object in the sky, 8 News Now reports a man called 911 with a very strange report. And here is a transcript of that report. The caller says, there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one is inside us, and it has big eyes, and it's looking at us, and it's still there. Okay, where is this on your property? In my backyard, I swear to God. This is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified. So there's 2 people. There's 2 subjects in your backyard. The dispatcher questions. Correct. And they have very large, they're like 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes. Like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're human. They're 100% not human. So, as always, we're just giving you something to think about. And we'll see. Let me hop back over here and see if they didn't take any photos or video of the aliens. Max Flower, apparently not. If they did, they have not been released. So I don't know. It's gonna get a little more crazy. He had a phone right there, and he called the cops instead of taking photo or video. Good point. And yeah, he did. I don't know if I would have. Well, I know what I would have done. I'd have started filming, but maybe the guy's not. Maybe that wasn't. Maybe they were really terrified, and he wanted some authorities to come and get whatever it was out of his yard. But yeah, you would have thought he would have had time to snap a picture or a few seconds of video. It does. It sounds a little hoaxy, and a lot of things are going to sound hoaxy as we go along. Last 50 years, who would trust the United States? We involve ourselves in others' business too much. We make promises we never keep, and corruption is bad in both parties. I honestly can't disagree with any of that. I might say that the hate is a little more intense in one party or the other, but as far as really caring about people, I'd be hard pressed to believe there were a majority of people that are in elected offices that are there for trying to better the populace. But that's just my cynical view. I don't know if let me text and see how close we are to having Lori on, because that's what I've got coming up next. Our next stories are about the internet. And of course, breaking news, Donald Trump indicted on 8 counts of mishandling classified documents. We played his statement earlier, and it's just the beginning. Once again, I'm expecting that we will see a a turnout at Mar-a-Lago, even though he's in New Jersey. Trump's in New Jersey. Okay, learned about this in New Jersey. Um, I would imagine people are going to start gathering at Mar-a-Lago, and we might even see video of that coming out yet this evening too. It appears as if there are ways to launder money to yourself when you run or hold political office. There's not supposed to, not if you do it the right way, not if you fill out the forms, not if you have a reputable campaign accountant that keeps the books. However, there are a number of workarounds that have been used. Mike Pence, when he ran for Congress the first time, paid a bunch of his personal bills out of campaign money and did not declare it, and that's an absolute no. Hang on a second, let me. Okay. I got a couple other texts to answer, but we'll wait and do that here in just a few minutes. Hey, Paw Patrol, how are you? And again, thank everybody that's watching. Our breaking news: Trump has been indicted, and he will be in federal court. Oh no! Don't pull over. No, keep doing what you're doing. Just text me and let me know, and I'll drop the link when you're ready. You just don't pull over. Just be safe. We got plenty of time, and we're in no rush. Another +1 adventure. When you write the laws, you can legally launder money for you and your buddies. Many charities and money laundering. Yeah. And one of the little dust ups that's going on within the AI community is between Elon Musk, however you say it, and I think it's deep fake. I don't an AI company, and the AI company is basically Musk is accusing the AI company of being the puppet of Microsoft, and Musk was a co-founder of the company and says that that's not what the company was intended to be, and the company is a nonprofit. The company's being run as a nonprofit with trillions of dollars being poured into it. So yeah, there are definitely workarounds, if you will, or loopholes, or whatever you want to call it. All you got to do is ask, how did Ron DeSantis go from being $500,000 in debt while he was running for governor to now being worth over $500 million when you get paid 80 grand for being governor? Things that too often, things that have been done, and I think we're learning more and more and more. And if you've been involved, that it's been crap for a long time. The past 30 or 40 years, our government has become much more about self-service and less about public service. And if you don't want to play the game, if you don't want to play along, they will punish you. And we've seen that happen, and happen recently. Remember the little congressman, the Republican congressman in the wheelchair that said he was going to tell everything about everybody? Where's he now? He's not in Congress. Um, our government learned from the best, the mafia. Yeah, okay. You know, Lori's going to join us here in just a few minutes. Lori Arnold's going to be with us. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that goes on, that some of the stuff people do to try to get people to view their channels, and um, in some cases, deadly consequences involved in the actions of some. And before Lori gets on here, I'm going to pull one up that that isn't. I hate to say that it's not dangerous, but it's not as dangerous as some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Baby Gronk is a perfect example of what is wrong with social media today. This comes from the Pat McAfee show. I'm not going to play any of it because McAfee just signed with ESPN and Disney, so the copyright will be strong with those sellouts now. I'm just kidding. He's not a sellout. Good on him. I'm happy for him. Um, I hope his show doesn't change. But anyway, now what this is, Baby Gronk is a 10-year-old internet sensation. If you don't know the reference to Gronk, it's the reference to Rob Gronkowski, former incredibly dominant tight end with the New England Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, good friends with Tom Brady. And the father of Baby Gronk has basically scripted the 10-year-old's life, and he does videos and proclaims himself this and that and this and that. And he's making about $100,000 a year. And according to many, the father is taking the son's childhood away. One of the quotes was, the father's getting the kid to memorize lines for a show instead of creating lifelong memories with his son. It's one of those situations, does anybody have the right to tell anybody how to raise their kid? Well, if damaging things are going on, probably so. Is this such a damaging thing? It's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The impact of the internet, what people do to make others watch, what people choose to watch, things like that. So go ahead and start with this. Actually, let me see if I can find.
Thanks to the increasingly
Crap, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to find the written portion. Get through the commercial here so we can do it, and get to some of the text if we can. Oh, wait a minute. It took me to a different, what the heck? There we go. All right. Now let's see if we can get to some of the text so you can get an idea here. These are questions in an interview to Baby Gronk's father. You spend any of the money on your personal expenses, or does it all go away for him? All going away for him. How do you make your living? I'm an IT guy and I do personal training. How did you do this? I can reach anybody. Donald Trump's son's wife follows my son. So there's some cloud upon cloud upon cloud upon humble bragging. It's bigger than people think, and it's only getting bigger. He just got posted on TMZ today. It's probably one of the bigger things on the internet as an influencer. He could be bigger than Bronny James. That's LeBron James's son. Hang on a second. And how much money are you making off of this right now? He's probably making about 100,000 a year. Promos, ads, combo of everything. I also help other parents and train them too. I put it all away for him. Man, I'm 36 years old. I've lived my life already. Everything is for my kids. I'm pretty much putting away everything for my kids so they can have a future. I'm not worried about what kind of shoes I have on or how I look. It's not about me. And hang on, I don't want that. There we go. Is your son actually better at football than any other 10-year-old, or is he just bigger? Everything we do for content is on purpose. Everything is planned out. Just being a creator and being an influencer. The internet and real life the internet and real life and his training are kept separate. He is actually really advanced and very good at football, and he plays 5 sports. A lot of people don't know this about him, but he's a better baseball player than football player. He's a really humble kid, straight A student. It sounds like Donald Trump describing. Anyway, the internet shows one thing, but he is the kid you want at your house. The internet shows one thing, but what the internet shows isn't exactly what the kid is, according to him. The internet shows one thing, but he's the kid you want at your house. He's that kid. Everything we're doing, hold on. Let me pause this and finish. Everything we're doing, it looks like a show. It's not reality. I know how to balance the internet in real life. I don't think my son is a god or better than all these other kids out there. His goal is to go to the NFL, but the NFL is rare. It's hard to make. So my goal is to build him a platform and a following where he is making money now and it's going into a savings account. Just keep stacking up, being a part of companies, this and that. By the time he's a senior in high school, he's a millionaire and above, and he's well taken care of. That way he can live a good life without struggle or worry. And the guy goes on to talk about, the kid might turn out to be a drug dealer, might blah, 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 blah. So he's justifying it. Let me hang on a second. And drop this link, and we're going to get Lori Arnold up here with us in just a couple of minutes. There you go, Lori. And we'll continue talking about Nancy. I'm also blissfully ignorant of TikTok. There's more drama on YouTube than I can keep up with. Amen to that. I've never been a big TikTok person, or what was that other one that like disappeared after a minute or something? Wasn't there something like that a few years back? I don't know. Wait and see if we get Lori up here before we carry on. Have some other things to talk about. She's been working hard. Instagram's kind of changed, I think, hasn't it, over the years? Wasn't Instagram bought by Facebook? Aren't the same people? And I've never been a big poster on Instagram either. Back when Kay set all this stuff up, she signed us up for all of the things. But Snapchat, thank you, Breeway. That's what I was thinking of, Snapchat. That would disappear. Okay. I dropped it. There we go. Oh. So, brief recap of what we've been talking about tonight. The main thing we're talking about, you can see down here, Trump indicted on 8 counts of mishandling classified documents. That broke about, I don't know, about 15 minutes before I was ready to come on. And he will be formally charged in a federal courthouse in Miami, in Dade County, and that will be coming up this Tuesday. I've got a couple of things referencing TikTok here coming up, and again, I'll go ahead and start out with. Hold on. I'm not going to show these because I don't want to get any copyright strikes, but just show you that there are more than one of these. Carolina Reaper Challenge. This is where peppers are not for everyone, and again, I'm not gonna show this, but this young couple.
What's up, guys? Back with
Here we go. This young couple decided they were going to eat Carolina Reaper online in order to get views, and it didn't end well. Didn't end well at all. And that's just one example. Here's another Carolina Reaper challenge gone wrong. I don't know. Obviously, I don't care about views enough to do stupid stuff like that, but that's just me. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to
How's
get my
your-
stuff set up here.
Okay. How's your day been?
Oh, it's been really good. Been busy. Oh, there
Yeah.
I am. I see me now.
You were juggling back and forth. I didn't know if you were in an earthquake or what was happening down there in Texas.
I could have been blown away. I got my red slippers ready.
Click your heels together 3 times.
Yep.
So you've been working hard?
I've been working really hard. Yes, I've been working really hard. Yep.
Awesome. Good for you.
But I was
Good.
listening on the way home.
Okay. You
I wanted to be safe, so I didn't get on.
Have any comments or anything?
Oh, too much to cover with all the Trump stuff.
Okay.
I
All right.
can't remember. But no,
Yeah.
what we're talking about now,
Yeah.
very interesting.
So I started out here with the Carolina Reaper thing. Eating a chili that has put people go to the emergency room, to breathe, blood pressure elevate, all kinds of dangerous stuff. How did we get here?
I don't know. The internet, really. People have been doing stupid stuff their whole lives. You realize that we still have like tags on stuff and all these warnings for people because they're too dumb to understand something. Sorry.
Good point. Good point. No, good point.
But we gave them an audience with the internet.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about influencers.
Yeah.
What is an influencer? It's just literally a person who got on the internet and got some notoriety for doing something.
Right.
They're not anybody special, usually.
That's true. They're just willing to do things others aren't willing to do at times.
Oh,
Now-
yeah. Barry, I'm one of those people by nature.
You are one of those people. You became an influencer because you went out and protested something that others were against, but they were not willing or able to go, and you became a voice.
But the point that I was making is that that's in my nature. Like, I've always been this person. It wasn't because of the internet. There's people like me out there that get bored at a party, and when, say, somebody dares them to do something, they just go do it for fun, you know. If we'd have had internet back in my day, oh my God, I blush to think of all the things I did on
Oh
Dare.
yeah. I'm very thankful that there weren't cell phones and live streams, and you know, yeah.
But now those people are getting a platform, and they get popular, and they get a lot of praise for it, whatever it is that they're doing. And unfortunately, in order to keep people looking or to get that attention, you always have to one up.
That's
And
what
so I think that's
yeah.
why we're here.
That's what I was going to say. If you take that path of being outrageous to get your viewers, or if you chase the numbers in general,
Yeah.
if it just in general, if you pay too much attention to your views, your whole channel is going to get skewed, because you're going to start trying to chase something that isn't really there. You know, you got to be just kind of be true to yourself and do your thing, because
And you know what, Barry, I'll say that the social media aspect of like what I just went through with my protesting, it did affect my protesting. It changed my stop. Like, a lot of that was because of social media.
because of people telling you, suggesting to you,
Yeah,
or
my
just
whole style used to be sitting and waving and smiling with a sign, right?
Mhm.
And then I went on, of course, the People's Convoy and all that, and I was pretty quiet through all that, believe it or not. And when I hit the whole protesting against 1776 stuff, the social media aspect I got into it. That's when I started my YouTube page, and that's why I started it. Was mostly for that. I had already started it, but I didn't really use it, you know.
Mhm.
But I started being able to live stream and stuff, and I was like, I remember thinking, I'm so boring. Like, why would anybody watch me? Because like I would see the other people who were there protesting, and they were so, their style was just so much more entertaining than me, you know.
Well,
And
that was
then,
your, yeah. That's
if you
just,
notice, my first day I went out with a sign and a smile, and I was pretty quiet.
and a rainbow flag, if I remember right.
My rainbow flag, don't tread on me flag. My
Yeah,
rainbow, don't tread on me.
right.
And I, it's not all because of social media, but I think that played a big part, because there's people who are like influencing what you're doing. You're getting people telling you things, and there are people that try to work people up or get them to do certain things, and stuff like that. I think we see a lot of that now. People going into chats and encouraging people to do really stupid things sometimes,
Yeah.
or things they wouldn't do, outrageous things.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, let me find it here. Here we go. Okay. A Chinese influencer dies after an alcohol binge in a viral challenge, and it's the second such case. Fatality occurred June 2nd after the internet celebrity known as Brother Huang. Uh, he was also known as Brother 3000, I think I read somewhere else. Um, the 27-year-old live streamer's wife confirmed the Chinese media outlet Tuesday that her husband, known as his online moniker Zong Huang Yang Zi, or Brother Huang, from the Central Plains, died due to excessive consumption of alcohol. What he did was he took this challenge, and let me find the name of the alcohol. Chinese firewater is what it's locally called. alcohol content ranging from 35% to 60%. And he drank 4 bottles of this. That's the challenge that's going around online. And someone 2 weeks ago did the same thing and also died. Um, so the idea of these challenges, the Carolina Reaper challenge, it's called I think it's BINIGI or BANIGI, this Chinese liquor that that's killing people. Um,
Like I said, people are always going to do stupid shit, Barry.
yeah,
There's always going to be somebody. I mean, it could be me. I do stupid shit sometimes too. You know, I mean, like, and when people get encouraged to do it, or the social media can create some beasts for sure.
that's well said. Yeah, actually, on Damnation last night, um, in the feature film, it was something about this little girl named Patty and how she was going to learn about fire. And one of the firemen lit this doll on fire and started swinging it around. And Baldy Banks says this is how Lori learned.
I bet that fireman didn't get in trouble.
But I bring that up because shout out to you, but also because you do something online and it potentially has consequences in your real life. And we're not just talking about taking a stupid challenge of eating or drinking something that can potentially kill you. What you do and say online can and does have a real life consequence at times.
It does. Yeah. Well, I ended up with a protective order over it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were doing it to get views using comedy.
Yes, I was. It was Halloween. I was actually at my best friend's house. And I'm like, oh, I got to go make this funny video, girl. Come watch me out there. And we had a bonfire and everything. And, you know, I was just a best friend day. And so, like, I put my stuff on and she just kind of rolled her eyes and thought it was silly, you know, but because she didn't understand any of this stuff. She thinks this is all nuts.
Yeah. Oh, I showed Mel some of it. Mel was on here with me one night and I showed him some of the stuff afterwards. He's like, man,
It's
why are
hard for
you,
people to understand.
why are you all watching this?
I know. It is entertaining and you get into it, but I don't know.
Okay, you were talking about people getting egged on. There have been some examples of some streamers that have gone possibly out of bounds a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people that go out of bounds. I think just to get people to listen to them. They have to make a show. It becomes like a show that they put on or something. It's disingenuous.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that, at least for me, because I live stream and there's always things that I see and I think, oh, I'd love to get that on, live because that's so cool. Or I don't know. I'm one of those people that sometimes I get bored and I like to talk to people. So I love live chatting, live stream chatting. But and I do kind of sometimes think, oh, I could put this costume on, but I can't pre-plan stuff out and fake stuff. I'm just not. It's too hard, man. That I flub it up. I can't even like record a video. I have to have like a live back and forth, I think.
Yeah.
I have to be real in the moment.
Right.
But a lot of people, I'm realizing, just like when reality TV first came out, we all thought, oh, well, a lot of us, some of us thought, oh, wow, that's real,
Yeah.
And then we realized, whoops, there's a little scripting in there and some acting. And
And then we realized there's a lot of scripting and a lot of acting.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
and a lot of the people aren't real at all, you
But
know.
they do have real world consequences because I used to watch a dance one with there was a lady named Abby that was like a dance teacher. And
Is that
I
the
know
Honey Boo
she ended
Boo?
up in prison or jail.
Is that Honey Boo Boo? Was that Honey Boo Boo? She was one, wasn't she? Was she?
No,
No,
Honey
she
Boo
was a
Boo.
like a queen or princess kind of thing, right? No.
No. It was an actual dance. Like they learned how to dance.
Oh, okay.
It was a dance studio.
Okay.
But she ended up in jail over some of this. Like hers was tax. I think hers was tax, but there were women that were literally in there, the mothers, of the girls that were like having assaults and getting police involved and all this stuff. And now that I know what I know, I realize how much of that must have been scripted, and
What's that one family? The husband and wife are both in prison now. Um, I think they were. I think their show was on Bravo. I didn't watch it, obviously. I don't.
I
But
didn't either.
yeah, it was a husband and a wife, and their two almost grown kids, and I don't know.
You know what's really scary is we've been watching videos of there's people out there. Big thing now is shock. So if you're a protester and you live stream, in order to get attention, what a lot of them do is they'll go into an area that is not theirs and maybe say something or just somehow, even with their presence, antagonize those people that are also protesting, and then video it all. Okay, so that's
Mhm.
one. And you see that even big, like a big name, it would be Alex Stein does it. That's a name that comes to my mind. And it's good for entertainment. Somebody might throw a water or you get people yelling back and forth right there in your face and all that. But it has no purpose other than views.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. The internet is based. I mean, yeah, you can make some money. In all honesty, I'm going to make like $8.86 this month.
Yeah.
Okay, for real, from the online activities, and obviously, I don't do it for that. But it seems like it's the idea of clout, this invaluable type of exposure, or that people that it and
It,
is that created from us that are doing this, or is it put on to people?
it reminds me of high school, like the girl being a girl, just the high school, how kind of the girls were, and just the games that they would play. And
You mean
this
like
person
easy?
had, if this person was your friend, then you were more popular, and just that popularity contest.
Okay.
Between the live streamers, though, like use that clout thing, using each other to get number boosts. And if you like if you saw like Red Squirrel sitting there, literally he came out and said, if you pay me, I'll come on your panel and boost your numbers. Now I don't know if he was joking, but like, you got to listen to people when they tell you shit. Okay, start listening. They'll tell you who they are.
Hold on a second. Chrisley Knows Best. Chrisley Knows Best was the name of the show that I was thinking of. The husband and wife went to prison. And I got a question here. You've interviewed several streamers. Would you say any of them are in this category? Yes, I would. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, I've interviewed people that are just clout chasing, that will do just about anything to have people watch. Um, I've character unlocked some of them supposedly, not knowing what 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 would come. I like mellow stuff now. I still watch shock, but anxiety. Uh, yeah, Echo. The Chrisleys ended up in prison. Um, Streamer wars. Have you heard the Streamer Wars song?
No, I don't think so.
I had not heard it until last night. I heard it last night for the first time on Damnation Drive-In, and
I missed it. I'm so sorry. I didn't get to tune into the whole thing last night.
I'm in the song. There's a line in the song. Be careful what you do. You might end up with a Doofy Award. That's part of Streamer Wars too. So awesome.
You know, that whole lifestyle of live streaming, like in real life, especially, it has an allure. I'm not gonna lie, it has an allure, and I enjoyed it very, very much.
You and I've been talking for a couple of months now about going on the road,
Mhm.
and that's why I wanted you on here while we're doing this. Would we what would we be doing that? Would we just be going on the road to get views? Is that how it would be looked at? Uh,
As long as you're honest about it, because that's all it is. It's just for it would be for entertainment.
but see, I'd be looking. I want to go on the road to show people things that they aren't going to see otherwise,
It's
and
multi-purpose.
to have some laughs. And if we're going to do it, we're going to have to start really getting down to
I know.
because there's not going to be any safe time to do it. We're in a dangerous world all the time, and
Yeah.
you got to get through a couple of things first. We know that, and then we can maybe talk about if we're going to do this or not.
Yeah.
But it made me, it made me think about it. We've talked, and is that what it is? Is it just traveling so that people will watch you? Um,
Well, you know what? But there's nothing wrong with that,
I
as
don't.
long
Yeah,
as you're upfront about it.
right. It's totally different than saying I'm going to show up at your house and destroy your pets and whatever. The lunacy that has gone on and will continue to go on.
And you know what? There's a lot of people out there that create a lot of stuff, and they do it um for their internet channel or whatnot.
Yeah,
There's like the spoon lady. She's really cool. And she plays the spoons. And there's just all kinds of people that put stuff out there, and they do it for the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when people start doing this fake stuff or dangerous stuff, in my opinion.
yeah. There's two sides to it.
Yeah.
There's um, the I don't know, sincere people doing things for sincere reasons, and then there's people doing things for um, show.
Kind of like
Well,
politicians, huh?
yeah, yeah,
Well, and then
absolutely.
I want to make sure we hit on something, because what's really scary is the way that people are using the internet and their streams to go out and, again, the shock. But it's things like that are very dangerous. Like I saw one video where these kids or young men were pouring what looked to be like gasoline on
Yeah,
someone's car, and it was
yeah,
water, and they were acting like they were going to light his car on fire, and the man had a holster, and had a weapon, and he told him, you could have been shot. You And that's true, and people are going to get hurt. They're going to
yeah,
get hurt. They're going to get killed.
yeah. I it it happens even without the internet. You
Between
know.
the people doing stupid stuff for the viewers and the crazy ass viewers that are like the few little crazy ass viewers that can just become enamored and go do something, or they maybe hate that person through the internet, and they go and they actually hurt them or whatever. something really bad. A lot of bad stuff is going to be happening, and people need to think about it a little.
Yeah, it's already happened. There's been people that have driven across the country to get to somebody, and people killed over chat rooms and yeah.
Do you remember when this all started? This, for me, I remember back when I would see kind of TV. They were more TV shows before, like, real super internet-y, but they were videoed where they were pranking people.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
setting them up on a date and
Practical
it was a prank
jokers,
date.
those kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, just stuff like that. And at that time, it was entertaining. I watched it, but I thought, man, that could really not end well. And I was kind of waiting to see somebody who got scared and then accidentally punched somebody, or, I mean, like, you don't know what's going to happen when you start scaring people,
Yeah. Absolutely.
with pranks.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of people get punched in the face, thinking, it's, jumping out at somebody or something like that,
I don't know Barry, when I get startled really bad, I always think I'm going to be big and bad, right? I'm going to punch somebody or something. But instead, man, I usually kick my shoe off and jump and scream like a little Disney Mary.
Take your shoe off?
My shoe usually ends up flipped off somewhere, and I'm screaming, ah! I'm not as big and bad as I think I am.
And that's okay, I think, I'm looking for a video I had earlier, and I accidentally closed it off. And if I don't find it here in a second, I'm just going to stop. Okay. I'm just going to stop. I'll find it for the next show.
The question is, if you don't get it live streamed, did it really happen? And honestly, all these people, I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and it's like, if your phone didn't work, would you still do it? Would you still enjoy what you were going to see if you couldn't live stream it? If your phone stopped working, would you continue doing what you were doing? People that just do shit simply for the fact that they want to live stream. You know what I mean?
I know. Chud Trooper. Okay. Hello, I'm Stormtrooper. His channel was taken down, and he did not show up at the vigil the whole time his channel was down because he couldn't stream.
See, yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
So why is he there? He's there for the views and the donos. And he makes it, he brags about it. Look at all the people I've got watching me. And yeah, it's insincere. But yet, does it matter,
Well, it does. It does matter. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot of people that watch and they believe the lie. They believe the lies that get put out. They believe the narratives that are pushed forward. And I'm not just talking about him. I'm talking about, by live streamers.
Yeah, I've had some happen to me lately. Yeah, I've had some stuff happen to me lately.
Yeah, and these live streamers are pushing a narrative, and it is important whether they really believe it or not. It is important if they're just faking it. That's why I keep saying grifting. Grifting is being overused and misused. Grifting, if you look it up, it is not asking for donations.
No, it's asking for money and using the money for a purpose other than what you've asked for it.
Yes, it goes even deeper than that. When I looked it up, this really struck me. It is somebody who manipulates the other person to doing things that benefit that person. So if I was grifting, I would go out and say and make something up so that you would and manipulate you into giving me money or going and doing something for me and I see that all the time with a lot of this shit is grifting. There's not all of them, but there's a lot of people that grift.
There's supposedly has been around $4 million raised for the January 6th defendants. Where's that money?
Where's the money? Where's Randy Ireland and that money? Woo!
Where's the money from the truckers convoy?
Yeah, the People's Convoy. Where the hell is the money from that? I want to know. That's something I still would like to know. I mean, I'm not one to know how to do all that research and stuff to figure out all the financials and all that. But I know bullshit when I smell it.
Yeah. I was born at night, but not last night. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I can smell bullshit.
I know what I saw with my own two little eyes.
Now, sometimes on the show, I don't push back on bullshit, but I know it. I mean, okay.
But not everybody can smell. Not everybody can always smell it because they only see on the video what people want them to see. And they control the narratives and they lie to these people,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned Red Squirrel. Yeah. All right. Red has, I haven't watched any of this stuff for a while, but in the past, Red had said some things that could bring federal charges, Why aren't these people learning that eventually that eventually what you do is going to possibly come back on you?
Because they haven't been punished yet.
Well, the idea is you see somebody else get punished and you go, well, I don't want to do that.
People aren't being punished though, Barry. What's happening is we're having our court systems are being weaponized, and it's not just one way. It's like everybody now is weaponizing these protective orders, both sides. Even politicians are trying to use them. I mean, like, it's crazy. It's literally crazy how much I'm noticing now how much this is going on. And it's just shut people up that you just don't want to have, whether they got something on you or, whatever it is. And nobody's getting punished for the stuff that they're doing. We look at Red. Look at how many threats that people are like, how the hell does YouTube let this shit stay up?
Mm-hmm.
Like legit threats,
But at the same time, it's Red, and I've had Red on the channel back in the past, and he was funny. He's a really funny guy.
He's a funny fucker. Yes, he is.
Is he? This is a devil's advocate kind of thing. Is he an actual danger, or is he a waste of resources to mess with because he's not ever going to do anything? We don't know, right? Because it's online, and
I have my opinion.
Yeah. Well, okay. What's your opinion while we're talking about it?
I'm like this scared of that. He's not doing jack shit. He's the type to go by and throw something in your yard and then run all the way back home. He's not. This is my opinion.
The only thing
he's a that word on your show probably, but he's the P word. I got one.
The Corinne song word. Yeah, Telescope kind of blew past all of that the night he came on live with his guitar and sang the songs. Yeah, he kind of blew past all the levels.
But the real threat is not him. The real threat is some of the crazies that are out there that we don't even know who they are. Some of them we do, some of them we don't. And like, for example, trying to give out addresses and saying, I know this was something that I had put out before, like trying to give my address out, giving my address out, and people in his chat saying to hit me in the head with a stick or a brick. And I sent that to my lawyers. I mean, like, these are literally, in my opinion, I think it's criminal to do stuff like that, to send people to harm them on stream. But I say that, but we see assaults happen on lives and nobody does jack shit about it. People keep look at how everything has been escalating. It's because people are getting away with all this shit.
Just keep pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope, and eventually somebody's really going to get hurt or possibly killed.
Yeah. And then maybe people will start waking up to it a little more. And I'm curious to know too how much people who encourage certain behaviors, if somebody came and hit me on the head with a brick, well, I mean, and they said, oh, I did that because I heard that on somebody say that on there, and somebody told me to do that, and they have the video to prove it. How much is that person, will they be responsible for that person's actions?
Well, that takes us back to Trump. How responsible is Trump for what the people of January 6th did? Did he, with his speech that morning, is he culpable for that? It's the same thing as we're talking about with live streamers.
But everybody's an actor anymore, it seems like. All the politicians, you know how I feel about that.
This is crazy that you would say that, okay? Because I've been communicating with a literary agent, and she wrote me back today and said, "Look, you need an acting agent, not a literary agent, because you're an actor."
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not an actor. I've got a YouTube channel,
Well, I think there could, you open up a whole can of worms, because like all that stuff, I think there are a lot of actors, people who are putting on a big show, and I don't know what their reasoning is, but that are literally going in and here's the other danger, besides people getting hurt themselves, is people pushing a narrative and pushing forth lies and trying to get people worked up about something on their live streams. And that has real world consequences. Again, when you go to people who are already upset at each other and you go in and you lie about, hey, that person did that, you're inflaming this side to get even angrier, and you could cause some violence. And at the temperature we are at right now in our society, shame on the people that are doing that and trying to, for their own selfishness, inflaming situations, and they could be responsible for deaths. I would put some of the deaths and stuff that's going on right now on the people who are lying and trying to get people more worked up at each other, instead of just trying to at least heal it or
diffuse it
in some way. And to me, it's the lying part. It's one thing to show and for people to be opposing, that's okay. To me, it's when you go in and you lie to, it's that manipulation, Barry.
Yeah.
That manipulation of people. And I don't know what all their reasonings are, but I know that they exist because I've seen them with my own little eyes, have seen these people that I thought were one thing, And then through this whole protesting and being around, I find out that they're not. And how I like Cookie. I see how dangerous he is. He's dangerous
Okay.
because he goes in and he lies to people, and he gets people who are already up, conservatives that are already all upset and stuff, and he gets them more worked up about lies.
What about people that feel like they should stick their nose into everything? You know what I mean? We see those online that are, dot connectors or whatever you want to call. You know what I'm saying? That they want to solve everything, and when a lot of times it's absolutely none of their business. Is that escalatory?
Okay, so just like when I told you that my little adventure over to Tennessee was maybe not the smartest thing, and that there were things that I would have done differently and all this, I think that people are going to find out the same thing when they do that, because they start sticking their nose somewhere, and they are going to get some responses from our voice right now, like my voice, outside of this little internet drop that we're in. They don't know who the hell I am, so they like, well, who are you? Why are you telling me that, and they don't know the story, and all that I've done, this and that, so to them, I'm just they don't care.
I was at a party last Friday night, okay? And I was outside on a patio on the ground floor. Guys walking on a path in this area walks by and goes, "You're the dude from the internet. You're the dude from YouTube."
Of course.
Yeah. So
You got recognized. Wow.
I've got recognized before, even here in town. But yeah, it's not. We may.
You need to start selling your signature so you can sign stuff like Buffy does and sell it.
Okay. How's that working for Buffy? Is he making? Well, what I'm saying is, we don't realize how many people actually watch. We've been doing this for almost. I mean, I've been doing it for 3 years solid. You've been doing this for almost a year. And you were 24/7 there for several months. You were on all the time. A lot more people, and you've been recognized. You were recognized at one of the protests you were at. Somebody came up and said, "I know you from Anarchy Princess."
Well,
right?
What's funny, Barry, is I did my activism before this, and I didn't live stream it like that, and so I just did it. And so I already, because I did it in my own community, at my own home, like I would be recognized a lot. I've been recognized a lot in my own little bubble back at home, my little raindrop back home. I couldn't go out without people. I had to everywhere. I've had people come up and like yell at me at like CVS in the parking lot and shit. Like it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even eat food in my own hometown because I was worried people would poison me. Like, I'm not kidding. It was bad.
Wow.
I had people come up to me, and once they like realized that I wasn't like the devil woman, sometimes under the cover of darkness, I have talked to a few liberals. Let me say that. And like I had one young guy, and he's told me, he goes, me and my buddies sit around and smoke weed and talk about burning your shit down all the time. And I'm like, I believe it. Yeah. And he says, he says, I really like you. You're a nice lady. I won't be by here during the day, but I'll tell my buddies, that you're not as bad. So, I mean, like, I was already used to that stuff. That this is just, it's a little bit more, a different level. because it's involving people from different states and, you know, all over. It's a little bigger, but it's the same shit. So it's not a big surprise. It's not, it's just the way people are, though. And it's getting worse, though, with this. You can't be threatening people. We can't be doing that kind of stuff where we actually make threats of violence to each other.
Yeah. Because law enforcement's going to take it serious at some point. And if not, then somebody's going to carry a threat out at some point. And neither one of those situations are good.
Okay, so people need to think about this before they go on the internet, especially if they're going to put their face out there. This is forever.
Oh, it doesn't
you know
go away.
We wish that. Yeah, you remember how we said we wish that we're glad that people couldn't see what we did in our 20s?
Yeah.
Well, we're still doing silly stuff now, and like if I go to get a job, like another job, somebody could put that up to my interview with me and my crazy wig, and you know, I'm doing crazy shit, and I mean, you know, it's out there, and you got to live with that. You got to know you're going to live with that shit forever, right. And it could always be pulled at a school board meeting when you're over there talking with your kid or whatever. Somebody could pull up your video of you sitting and screaming or
Mags,
you know, whatever the hell you
Mags America. Mags get a job, by the way.
Mags get a job.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention, but I do know that he hadn't got a job yet. It's amazing how much blame goes on to minorities for not wanting to work, and when we're seeing a whole bunch of capable white people not wanting to work. Just saying, it's something to think about.
Something to think about. Oh, there's always been lazy people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, I want to make a point too, because they really push the male and female roles in all that, you know, right away with my
yeah.
By Red Mama.
Yeah, you're supposed to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, and the man.
Well, that means the man.
That means the man's got to get a job. Your philosophies aren't lining up. All right. Okay. I want to bring up one final thing here. I said, I've had some run-ins, even though I haven't acknowledged it or anything. I've been attacked online quite a bit. If you do not, what's the culture like? If you do not respond to the attacks, are you assumed guilty and looked less than just going, I don't elevate roaches above roach level, so I'm not going to deal with this.
I think that's what I like about you, Barry, is the way that you handle things, because back home, like even before internet, you know, I had people, or not internet, but like YouTube, but you know, on Facebook and stuff, you had people trolling you all the time and stuff.
You ought to be in politics.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot where I was going with that. Damn it.
People trolling you all the time on Facebook.
I know what I said. I just don't remember where I was going with it.
Okay.
Oh, I had a total brain fart.
Hey, that happens. You've been working hard.
I forgot where we were going with that.
I was talking about whether if you don't push back when somebody attacks you, are you looked.
Oh, yes. Okay. And I think that eventually people stopped for the most part. And I've got to say, I think it was because of my approach. I always laughed at a lot of stuff. See, I learned to laugh at myself. So if you say something funny or you make a funny meme, it's funny. I laugh. You know, hate mail, I laugh. I don't get usually very worked up about silly stuff like that. So like if somebody says something about me and it's not true, I was, they call me they call me a Nazi or whatever. Well, I don't have to respond to every fucking person that calls me a bad name or says something wrong. People who know me should know better. And if it becomes an issue, I will deal with it. And I will say something. I'll say it maybe one time, put it out there, and then we're done. I'm not going to sit and dwell on it. Too many people let shit get too much to them. I think I like your approach of that, because that's my approach too, is kind of, why am I going to sit and talk about, that's what you want. I am a person who likes to, I was always that little kid that was picking on my sister, I'm watching you. I was that kid. Okay. And if you ignore me, that's probably the worst thing you could have done. It's when you reacted to me that then I'm having fun. Now I'm really not touching you.
Yeah. In your head.
It takes one to know one.
All right. What do you got coming up this weekend?
Oh, I don't know. I think I have to work this weekend.
Okay. No protests or anything to cover?
Not that I've seen yet. We'll see what happens.
Are you going to Flagstaff, Arizona? I
wanted to go to Arizona. I wish I could, but I think I need to probably stay and work. But
okay.
I would like to.
We've got, there's going to be a Pride event in Indianapolis, I think the week after next. And I think I'm going to go live stream it.
Like a festival or?
It's a parade, and it's like a parade and then an afternoon in the park kind of thing, I believe. I'll get more information on it.
Okay. I still have contacts over that way too. I'll see.
Okay. All right. See what you can find out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I don't
interesting.
know. I want to do something.
I went to one.
You went to a Pride parade in Indy?
A Pride festival not in Indy, over here at Dallas.
Oh, okay.
There was a protest.
I saw that. I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that. Your phone overheated.
I had fun. I had a good day.
Your phone overheated. Mine overheats so fast, but I can't find a cooler, a phone cooler that I can also use with my gimbal.
I know, while you're live streaming, you have to.
Yeah, so you either got to cool the phone or you got to have a great shot. You can't do both.
I know. I went to the AT&T store yesterday and I asked specifically if they had something like that, and they said no. I will say, they said my battery life is like at 86% or something, so I got to go get that checked, because they said that could be what's making it overheat. So maybe that was what was wrong with your phone.
It's because it's 104 degrees in Texas that your phone's
It was hot.
It was hot that day.
It was.
Okay, let's look at the chat real quick in case there's something to.
Do you have somebody going with you to the event? To
the Pride event? Probably not. I've got a nephew that might be in the Pride parade.
Okay.
It depends if he's in town or not, if he's in Indy or not. Yeah.
Mel's not going to put his rainbow hat on?
No, Mel. No, I may. I probably won't this Saturday, but I'm gonna live stream Mel and the boys playing again sometime soon. Yeah, actually, we were talking about you before I came on tonight. Mel was over here earlier, and he was talking about how the last 3 or 4 shows they've done, nobody danced. They all just sat around and watched them and said, when you and I were at the American Legion, we were up dancing all the time, and the whole, got everybody dancing. He was calling you the life of the party.
Oh, geez.
And of course, we got all.
I think that old lady was really.
Yeah, I know that old lady. Yeah,
cutting a rug.
93, I think is how old she was. And by the way, what's his name? Pat Robertson, the TV minister, died today at 93 years old. The guy that blamed the gays for 9/11 and for all the hurricanes and stuff.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandparents, when they got too old to go to church, they had to go to the television. We only had like a few
Yeah.
stations, but and
But
so they had to listen.
he's
That was their
yeah,
preaching.
yeah. No,
I know. I couldn't stand those
they
people.
should have listened to Charles Stanley if they were going to listen. He died not too long ago too, by the way. But anyway,
Who's the painter? Bob something.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. They love
Yeah,
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is from Muncie, Indiana. All of the
really?
all of those episodes were filmed at WIPB up in Muncie.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I've always liked him.
Yeah,
Since then.
little happy accidents. We'll put a little happy tree over here, and 20 minutes later, the dude's got a freaking masterpiece. You try to paint along with him, it looks like a 5-year-old finger painting thing because he just goes and
he makes it look
easy. And if you try to do it, it doesn't come out like that all the time or any time.
No,
but
I
love to watch him.
Back home, there was everybody had their signs out, and it was just kind of tense. And I drove by and I saw in somebody's yard a Bob Ross sign.
Cool.
And I don't remember what it said, but it was obviously something about like getting along kind of thing, be happy or something like that. And I stopped and I went up to the door and asked her,
what the hell's with the
Bob
Ross sign?
Why did you put this here? What does this mean? And she kind of said that, I'm paraphrasing, but kind of like, oh, just so much crap, it just wanted to put something out to be nice to each other, kind of each other.
Yeah, something that Bob Ross. I mean, if you know who Bob Ross is, you smile automatically because he had the Scooby-Doo dude hair, and nothing fazed him. He couldn't screw up his painting. If he screwed something up, he'd screw up on purpose just to show you that it was no such thing as a screw up.
Oh, and he had such a calm voice and just a mannerism. Yeah.
And there's a movie, I don't know if it's out yet or if it's coming out. I think Woody Harrelson is playing, and the movie's based on Bob Ross.
Oh, really?
Woody Harrelson, I think, is playing the character based on Bob Ross. It might have already come out. I don't know.
Hey, I got a question just to leave you with. So if we are finding out that live streamers and all this influencer stuff, that these people are nefarious, what does that say about all these politicians that we think are doing things for us, even in our own parties? They're actors. Maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you consider? Do you consider yourself a content provider, a live streamer, an internet personality, an influencer?
I consider myself an activist.
I didn't even list that.
And then I also consider myself a live streamer. That's because I've been thinking about that, what to tell people when they ask. And I'm an activist, but I'm also a live streamer. So sometimes I live stream my activism and sometimes I just live stream a storm or whatever, and I like to talk to people. And to me, that's activism is, like maybe getting communications. And, I think stuff like that's important.
Is there a difference? Is there a difference between a live streamer and an influencer, a YouTube personality? I mean, are they all the same thing? Because I've been asked, what do you do? Well, I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, well, you're a podcaster, or you're an influencer.
I don't understand influencer all that much. To me, they just seem like people who I wouldn't trust an influencer.
Okay, how many viewers? How many viewers does it take to become an influencer in people's eyes? I mean,
I don't know.
Do you just come online and you're considered an influencer if you take that path and you try to get people to something, whatever, follow you?
I honestly don't know. This is all very new to me. I
just wanted your opinion, what you thought. Yeah. Because I've been thinking about it lately, and I'm not sure.
I don't know either. These I'm curious who controls the influencers even, you know? I mean, like there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. What about Trump? Is anything going to happen?
I never think that anything's really going to happen, Barry.
I know that, and I'm so thankful for you because I think it's going to happen all the time, and you kind of balance it out when we talk.
But what we were talking about, so that noose down there really pisses me off.
That makes a different
that one-
statement.
that pisses me off for a lot of reasons. And it's suspicious to me that it was done. It's suspicious to me that the responses to it, there's been people lying about it.
And for those that may not know, we
to
showed
put
it
that
earlier.
there, under those circumstances, had me so angry, and had, you know, I mean, like, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why. For one thing, for me personally, it was because there are people that are counter protesting and stuff that are from BLM and stuff. So to hang a noose when you're counter protesting on them, I don't care what you mean by it. It's a bad look.
Yeah.
It's bad, and it's gonna be interpreted.
And then
whether you meant it or not.
And then a black guy tries to say that a Hispanic woman was the one that put the noose up there.
I
mean, all right.
But that's dangerous because not just listen, nobody got hurt, right? Some feelings maybe. But the truth is that that inflamed people.
Oh, it's very inflammatory.
It was like when
hangman's
Jussie
noose.
Smollett.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It was like when Jussie Smollett made that big hoax and pretended like Trump people had attacked him and stuff. Like that made me mad because he could have gotten some people beat up, killed in retaliation for some of this shit. And you don't know. Tensions are very high politically between these different groups. And to anybody who does that and takes advantage of that for popularity.
Okay.
I just don't understand how you can do that. People.
Yeah. People were reacting to the Bob Ross thing in the chat. That's why I was smiling when you were talking about the noose. I was smiling because I was reading Puffy Little Clouds and how he was high all of the time. He was painting. So, you know, he was enjoying it more than.
Was he a stoner?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No wonder he was happy.
The new stunt might possibly be the dumbest thing they have done to date. Yeah. You want to say anything about Sparky before we close?
I really don't. I don't even know what's going on. I'll be honest. I don't pay attention to her. Like, again, these people who will just do anything for views, and they become a source of entertainment for people.
See, now I want Sparky to get some help.
Okay, I see.
I think Sparky might have some major stuff going on with her, and she might have a better person inside her than what we've seen over the last several months. And I'd really like to see her get help. I also don't want to see people pointing guns online.
You told me about that earlier.
Brett Boyle's channel is where it happened. And, you know,
people have been putting bullets in glasses of wine with people's names on. I mean, like, come on.
I know.
It's just escalating. We're escalating.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've been on here about 2 hours, so.
Okay, I gotta go and get some dinner.
Yeah. You haven't eaten yet?
No.
I told you.
No.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. Greatly appreciated as always. And
yes. Thank you, Barry. I thank you for having me on.
I'm going to be,
You know, I love
I got to
you.
be on yours next time, right? We got to
Yes,
balance it
yes.
out. I love you too. You know that. And I'll be on yours next time. Okay.
Okay, I
All
appreciate
right.
it because we can have us a good old talk.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Okay, bye
Love
bye. I'll
you.
see you later. Love you
All
too.
right. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Lori Arnold. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. And hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. We do this for absolutely just because of our own egos, and we have to have you watching. Oh, tonight's program has been about, what people do to get views. And all it is just something to think about. That's what we do here. Namaste. Shalom. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you from the Most High, His Son Christ Jesus, the power of the Holy Spirit. If you're not a spiritual person in any way, shape, or form, I still love you. I hope you still love me. Wish you nothing but love, positive vibrations, peace. Live long and prosper if you're a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek fan, I should say. And thank you all for being here. You want to contact me, email americandufus@gmail.com. I'm taking tomorrow off unless all hell breaks loose, which I don't anticipate happening. And I'll be back Saturday live somewhere, doing something in real life because I want to get out and do a little live streaming. So until Saturday, tomorrow night, Damnation Drive-In, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. And I'm not sure if G's on right now, but always look for and subscribe to not only Damnation, but Back in the Basement with G. Abbott, and of course, Tully. And of course, thank her once again, the one and only Lori Arnold. Make sure you subscribe to her as well. And we'll do this all again sometime here very soon on Saturday. And I hope you'll join me. I look forward to it. Again, thank you for watching. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Love you all. Thanks again.